off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome, you're tuned in to Take My Advice on Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, TV Live, Rumble, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. That's why if you're tuned in here, you're not going to hear anything that's going on in the headlines. Why? Because you can get all of that negative news everywhere. Instead, this is a place where you can land and talk about what is good with people, what's good with the world, and what's good with you. My name is Dr. Marissa. I am #positively opinionated, and I want to welcome you today to Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Ricky Rebel. Let's go. Happy New Year.
Four top 40 recording artist. Has seen on tour with Britney Spears. He's been a Grammy member since 2017, part of the voting member for Recording Academy. He was discovered by Michael Jackson, signed to his label on Sony, and later signed to Madonna's record label, Maverick Records. And yes, my promos are all with his music, and he was also up for Grammy nomination consideration in 2 categories, not just one, but 2. So please welcome back to my studio, Ricky Rebel.
Happy New Year. It's good to be back.
Happy New Year. Yay. I know. we'll fix that again. But I am also celebrating, which is why I'm going to put this up right now, 1,300 podcast shows. This is number
Wow.
1,000.
Congratulations. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll give
Crazy dedication.
And I can't think of a better person to celebrate that with this morning. And we are talking about New Year today because it is. It's that season. The particular topic that I wanted to cover is everything is awesome. In this New Year's resolving and setting intention, do people really change? Can you really change people? So that's our topic. But before we get into the topic, you know the drill. I love to have breakfast with my co-hosts and all of the people in the cashew gallery.
Angela.
Pure heart, happy New Year. Pray for your mom.
You.
Yes, we're going to definitely. I wanted to see how your beloved mama was, and I will start that with the gratitudes. Gratitude sandwich: 8 things that you're grateful for that are outside of yourself. On the top of the bun and on the bottom of the bun, it's 8 things that you're grateful for that are inside of yourself. So that's what we're doing, Ricky. It's been a couple of weeks. We'll see how we'll catch up because this
Gotta work this muscle. It's a muscle. You gotta work it. Let's go.
You look fabulous, by the way. I want that
Not
jacket.
as easy as it looks, you guys.
I want the jacket.
You like it?
Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is
I can't stand up because I'm not wearing pants.
oh, TMI.
One of those mornings. No makeup, just fresh, raw.
You don't need makeup.
I don't need makeup.
For sure. Okay, so I am grateful that lots of prayers went out for your mama, and I just love the fact that, when things are, not fabulous, you have so much support, so many people love you. I saw that on social, and myself as well. And I'm grateful that she's better. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give me an update.
Just to let you know, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. It's a connection issue, Wi-Fi, but that's just here, neither here nor there. But what I'm grateful for, yes, first of all, my mother is doing much better. Thank you to everybody out there who prayed for her. I asked for everyone's prayers or good well wishes or anything that is good to send her way. All that is good. And people came through, and my mother is doing about health wise, if 10 is perfect and 0 is, she was like at a 1 or a 2 with this flu. It was really crazy. She's now at a 7. So
Awesome.
really good.
So she just got the flu and got like really, really sick with it.
103-degree temperature. She didn't know. And she got into the bathtub and just couldn't get out of the bathtub. She couldn't feel her arms or her legs. And my father had to pick her up out of the bathtub using a belt around her waist to pick her up. It was out of control. And before they knew it, they called the ambulance, and they came, and the healthcare, or, there was 100 people there. It was like a war zone. It was an absolute war zone. And they had her waiting in the hall, in a hallway. And I was so upset, coming in there. Where's mom? It was just a very hard thing to go through, to see your mother like that, or to see someone you love really sick. So just everybody, out there listening, take the flu seriously. When you get it, really take it seriously and take care of yourself and slow down. And it can be a life and death situation, for real.
It's the season. For sure. My bonus mom also went in. She had, I don't think I told you, sepsis and MRSA, which is the antibiotic resistant. She's been there almost 3 weeks now, but the great thing, she's out of ICU. She keeps getting changed in the wings, like, of the hospital, so she's getting better and better. She's 3 days negative culture, which is a good thing.
Good. Very good.
So she's 92, and it is what it is. She sucks, as I say.
Yeah, I had so many great understandings about life after it, though. That is something real slap in the face, right?
Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah. Love your life. Life does not suck, and it ain't forever. So we've got a great active passion gallery today. Deborah is joining Angela, who's grateful for her new job. She loves the challenge. I love it. There's a top of the bun gratitude. Drake the Dragon is here saying hello. Corey Chambers is here saying God bless Mama Rebel. And great to see you as well. Rose Johnson. Okay.
Stop the Botox. Bitch. Oh, as in dog. Ruff.
There's another shopping trip coming up. OMG, Ricky Rebel.
Sorry. I'm so
live on the entity right now. So
itch. I said itch. I got an itch.
Oh, you're turning pink. I love it. Okay, so we won't put her stuff up anymore. Anyways, if you don't have anything nice to say, please keep your...
No, I don't even do Botox, so I don't know what she's talking about.
I know. But anyways, she found us by accident. Also, what I'm grateful for, I had a wonderful time with my 2 daughters who drove down from San Francisco with my grandson, Frenchie named Pablo. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I've had this show now for 651 consecutive weeks, and today is podcast show number 1300. So I'm grateful for all of those things.
Amazing.
Anything else you're grateful for before we go to the bottom of the bun?
Yeah, I'm grateful for my health. Thank you. Thank you. I've seen everybody around me getting sick, and I have been really healthy lately. So I want to give myself a little. I mean, I have little things, you always deal with, little stuff you got to work with, but for the most part, very healthy. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. I'm actually, I don't know anyone else that has not gotten COVID yet. So I didn't say yet. Who has not gotten COVID, period.
Oh, you never got it? Ooh.
I know, right? Don't jinx myself.
Well, there's the light COVID, and then there's the really aggressive one. So I got the really aggressive one.
Did you?
Version, yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun, which is, what do you like about yourself? And the reason why I do this is I want you to weight lift and weight train your ability to care about yourself, to love yourself, to soothe yourself, so you're not walking around looking for likes in all the wrong places. I want you to be able to approve of yourself, so when someone's not nice to you and put something nasty in the chat or a dig or an insult, you can just say, "You're having a bad day. God bless you." And I love myself most of the time. 88% of the time, all of us are fabulous. 12% of the time, we step in it. And that's just part of being human. So I want you to be able to go to bed tonight and list 8 things that you like about yourself so that you can fall asleep and you're not thinking about all the things that did wrong and who done you wrong. So that's the bottom of the bun. So Ricky, what do you like about yourself?
I'm very loving person, loving to the cats. I'm loving to my mom. I'm loving to my family. I came into action. I'm a very action-oriented person. When my mom was sick, I made sure everything was going right with the doctors, because if you turn your head, something bad could happen. You could lose your parent. You got to be I'm a very vigilant person when I care about people. So I'm a very big heart like that.
Beautiful. Wow, that was good. I thought you might be out of practice, but you're not. You did good. You did good. And I say that because when I first did this, we did it almost a year. Our year anniversary, I think, is coming up in March or April. But I can remember introducing this little exercise, Good Life Habit, to Ricky. He's like, I don't think I can find anything good to say, because he was such he's a recovering perfectionist. But
it's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork can anyone else? So that's why we do this. And I appreciate my ability to keep on going. This show in mornings that I'm just like, what the fork am I doing? I am so grateful after every show that I don't give up, and I'll do this until I die, honestly.
Yeah.
Because and they said that I wouldn't last more than a year, because the show is about hope and happiness, not about sensational, backbiting, political ranting. None of that. So I appreciate my ability to stay positive, to stay resilient around that, and to try to get Ricky not to swear. So
committed. You're a very committed person.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, and that's it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Ricky Rebel. Hey.
I hope that you all are going to continue this good life habit, this hashtag discipline. You don't have to do it with me every morning. I am here every weekday morning. You can watch and listen on my YouTube TV channel. But if you just do it as soon as you wake up in the morning, start with gratitude, I promise you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now, the topic of the day on this series called Straight Talk. Straight Talk means we are not necessarily straight.
Well, I'm 2%.
Are you 2% straight?
Yeah, I told you that last time.
Okay. Okay.
I've had girlfriends.
Great memory, but my recall sucks. So we are straight as in we really talk about the reality of things. And we put the moose on the table. Where's my moose? Which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. So what are we talking about? It is time for New Year's resolutions this entire month. I'm going to ask you first, Ricky. I just did some research for my show on Monday about this. How many days do you think people usually last on average for their resolutions? Is it in the Cashew Gallery chat?
I would say less than a month. So maybe 2 to 3 weeks. How's that?
How many days?
7, 14, 21. My math skills. 21 days.
Okay, 21 days. Anybody else in the Cashew Gallery? Deborah, Corey, Rose, or Drake? Anybody? Angela, Deborah? Anybody want to take a guess?
I stuck with mine all year round.
Pardon?
I stuck with my New Year's resolution all the year. Like, kept coming back to it, back to it, back to it.
Can we talk about it? Is it safe to ask?
Oh yeah, it's a good one. It's fine. It's like my commitment was to I want to be more of myself.
Okay. So in particular, what part? Creative, all of
Not
it.
pretending. So if there was something on my mind, not pretending it's okay if it's not okay, or not pretending I'm anything, just being in the moment, being real as I could be. And I kept coming back to it. I mean, of course, you fail every now and then a lot, but you come back to this idea of being authentic or being myself. What does that mean?
Being real.
Being real.
Being moose on the table.
Putting that moose. I put that moose so many times down on on the table with people in conversations. It was great.
Somebody just gave you a finger. Not that finger, but this finger. And I just realized Mama's here. She's on.
That's Mama Rebel, yeah.
Yeah, she literally, Ricky drove with her. She's crazy. I can see it too. I told you.
I was very persistent. There's another quality of mine.
Great quality. 88% of the time. All right. So it's
how many days?
18 days. 17 to 18 days is the average. So
I was kind of close.
But you were very close. Yeah, I thought 3 months, so I was really not close. But 17 to 18 days, which begs the topic, which is, can people really change? Can't teach old dogs new tricks. You can't change people. I did that all the time. And so it begs that question. Can you really fundamentally change who you are? So that's the topic for today. Please weigh in the Cashew Gallery. I will put it, I'll be real for a second. I know that some things, like people will say to me when they come to me for happiness coaching, I'm a worry wart. I've always been a worry wart. I've always, been afraid, or I've always had this underlying anxiety. I don't think I can change that. Or I've always been a positive person. And I've always, so this word always is also lends itself to, well, then how can you actually change things?
Right. Nothing is always.
That's one of my first interventions, is to actually have people count how many times they use the word always in the day, right? Because it's your ability to actually change is dependent on your ability to, I call it systems think instead of Newtonian think. And as Americans, we're closer to Newtonian because we're always talking about, is it good, bad, right, wrong, what category does it go into? So when you're that straight, when you're that judging, right, it's very difficult to one, change yourself, and one, see changing others.
Yeah, I think a lot of people need to be to put things into strict categories: black, white, true, false, right, and wrong. And sometimes these categories are um,
Limiting.
they're gray, and those spaces in between really frighten a lot of people,
Yeah, you gotta really think.
including myself. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not immune to that, but
Yeah, yeah. Santiago is here. Hello, Santiago.
hello, Santiago. Hello, welcome.
Joining us here. This is Take My Advice on How You Get Balance with Dr. Marissa Good Morning Show. And this is my very special Friday series called Straight Talk with myself
Ricky Rebel. Hey.
and we're talking about promises,
Hey.
resolutions, and what this whole season of resolution asking, is it possible to fundamentally change? Do you think people can change? So if someone's a worrywart, or someone has been labeled as lazy, or someone has been labeled as a cheater, or someone has been labeled as overeater, or an alcoholic, or whatever that thing is that defines who you are, is it possible to change that?
Yeah.
Mental, any of those things.
I honestly think that well, what I've learned over time with my teachers, my philosophy teachers, they've taught that people don't actually change. But then you also hear the opposite, right? You hear that anything's possible. The philosophy that we can be anything, we can become anything. So I'm kind of in the middle when it comes to this idea. I understand that the concept of fundamentally who we are, we can't necessarily change, I think, but I also think there are things about ourselves that we can and that we should work on, and that we can work on if we want to become better people, or become the vision of who it is that we want to be, as opposed to who we kind of are acting like now. We can change a little bit. So that's the answer.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
change a little bit. Like I'm a certain amount of conscientious, right? Like there's like the top 5 personality points. Conscientiousness. Do you know about all of that?
I love
You take this test. It's like a psychological test called the Big Five. Everyone should take it. It's so important. It's something that Patrick told me about, to get to know who you really are. And when you do the Big Five, it teaches you kind of more or less, like in a percentage point. I'm 50% conscientious, for instance. Ricky Rebel is like, I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm like 60, 50. I can be conscientious sometimes, not other times. And openness, I'm a very open person. So I rate high on openness, like 80%. Where some people are more not as open. Yeah, let's take a look at the Big Five personality traits. So good. If you want to get to know who you are, take the Big Five personality test.
You don't have to take it on here, but I think that if you have any self-awareness, you will be able to sort of look at these categories and put yourself on which side you are.
Right.
I use Myers, and this is similar to Myers. It's certainly the extroversion.
Yeah, you and I are very extroverted people.
Yes.
We would rate very high on extroversion. And believe it or not, agreeableness. I think we're both in question on this one. We appear agreeable, but I don't think we're necessarily very agreeable. I
don't.
I don't. I don't rate.
Don't out me. Don't bust me.
I know. I won't. I'm not very agreeable. I didn't rate very high on that. Actually, I'm kind of low on agreeableness.
This is interesting because it's
Yeah.
very similar to Myers is what I use, and agreeableness we call a J and P, which is a little bit different. Judging and perceiving.
Oh yeah, judging and perceiving. That's a different. What's it called again?
It's the Myers Briggs.
Myers Briggs. There. Yeah, I'm an ENTJ.
Oh, you do know yours.
It's called the Commander.
I am ENFJ. Although
Okay, see, you're a judger too.
So, oh yeah, and it's not judgmental. I know it sounds like it's judgmental, but it's exactly what I was just talking about. When you have data or when you have a question, high J's want an answer.
Right.
They don't like leaving it open, right? To not answer a question is like death. Like, I want to know, what are we doing for dinner, right? What time are we getting together for lunch? Where are we going for lunch? That's a very high J, right?
High J. I always say the word bottom line. Bottom line. What are you trying to say right now? What do you want from me right now? I was doing that to the nurses. Bottom line. Where's my mom? And why aren't you treating her? Why aren't you treating her right now? So yeah, so there's like high, you could be a high, very agreeable person. You could be neurotic versus not as neurotic. I don't rate high on neuroticism. Thank the Lord. That's a hard one to deal with.
But I will say that sensitivity is highly correlated to creativity.
It's important.
So that, just there's no good bad with any of these categories.
I love that. Yeah, you're right.
Right? It just, you have benefits and consequences. So if I go to judging, the opposite of judging is perceiving. Okay, a little bit different than this one, but you'll get the comparison. I just told you that we don't like gray, right? We want to know what's the answer. Well, high P people are opposite. They don't like making the decision just in case something better comes. And so high P's we want to leave it open as long as possible.
Perception.
And example is, my husband, when we would go on vacation, in the morning, I wanted to know where we going for dinner. And he'd say, well, I think it's sunshine, same thing.
Whatever you want.
I know where I want to go for dinner. Where? Martin's. Well, you can't go because we needed to know this morning to get reservations. So that was not a good match. But opposites attract, whatever. But
yeah, for sure.
But that was, one of the minor things we disagreed about. But
a birdie told me, who I live with, told me that you can only change a deviation of like 3% of these things.
So that would say, Dr. Patrick is saying the answer to the question, can people really change? The answer is only 3%.
Right. in these particular categories, which I find fascinating. It's like, that's crazy. We can only become just a little bit more conscientious than not. For instance, that's the one I'm working on the most in my life. That is super important for me.
Like routine, no routine. So spontaneous is inventive and curious, right? Mm-hmm. And then consistent cautious is I like things to be orderly. I like the day to have the routine. Okay, right? So I would say I'm probably more towards inventive curious.
Towards what?
Inventive curious. So the other side of you, I think. Are you more consistent cautious, right?
Oh, I can't. I'm so sorry that
the openness.
The internet is so weird today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
Openness to experience.
Right.
On one end, you're inventive or curious or spontaneous, I would say. And
the
other side is consistent, cautious, or routine.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely on this side. Definitely on the inventive and curious.
Oh, well, okay. So you're on the same side as me.
Yeah, for sure. And openness, for sure. I'm
and then conscious is effective, organized versus extravagant and careless.
Right.
So I would say I'm more efficient in that.
You're definitely more conscientious than I am. That's why you're on your 1300 show. And I can barely get to here without my pants on. I don't have my pants on right now. But I will say this, I'm 50-50. I really do. I rated in the middle on this one.
Did you?
You know, conscientious. I can be conscientious sometimes and not other times. But that's the one that's super important. If you want to be really successful, I've realized, or what I've read, the most successful people tend to be more conscientious and open and extroverted, you know, so it's like those three qualities, but really it's the conscientiousness and openness, because openness is also has to do with, I'm sorry to say this, but intelligence. Okay. The more open people tend to be more intelligent than the closed off people.
That makes sense.
Who are not as open to new experiences or as curious.
Right.
Curious people are a little more. Sorry, everyone listening.
It makes sense, right? It does make sense that the more open you are, the more you learn.
Yeah, you're more inventive. You're more curious. So if you combine that with conscientiousness, it's a very powerful combination. And a lot of artists are not conscientious. They're wild, you know. They're high in openness, but that conscientiousness, if you could combine the two, that's when you have Madonna, for instance. Very conscientious and open person and extroverted person. So
now let's talk about extroversion and introversion for a bit. As an organizational psychologist, this is one of the things that is most misunderstood. Is people think that introversion means you're shy and extroversion means you're a party animal. When in fact, extroversion in its truest definition is you get energy from being around people.
Right.
That you feed off their energy. Introversion is you get your energy in solitude. So just, next time you hear that, just you can say, actually the true definition is, because shyness is not a personality, I would say. That is something you can change. You can actually get more comfortable in a group of people. It may not be your natural choice because you feel like your energy is being taken away, but you can, there's plenty of people who are what I call practice extroverts, or because of their position at work or because of what they do, and they become more comfortable with it. So I'm answering the question, yeah, you can change. Maybe not 100%, but you can move along that to get the benefits of each side, right? That would be my answer.
I agree with that.
Well, and you're segueing into agreeableness.
It's exactly. You're exactly right. Extroversion has to do with how do you get energy from people when you're around people. And I think you and we definitely get energy from the crowd.
Absolutely. Leo's asking, can I be an assertive introvert? Absolutely, because those are different indices. So extroversion, introversion, the assertive that I think is exactly the agreeableness. So people who I'll use my model of communication. I taught at UCLA in the MBA school a course called Managerial Interpersonal Communication way back in the day. And the model that I created was called the arrows and the pillows. And so arrow communicators are the ones who are critical and judgmental, and they hit the headline and they shoot the arrow. And the most important thing is that you understand what I said, and the fact that there's blood all over the ground because you said it so sharply, which is the assertion, the assertiveness to the extreme, is an example of being straight to the point, literally, right?
Yeah.
It's quick, it's clear. The downside is you may have just completely cut people to shreds with that communication. Pillows on
including yourself,
including yourself.
by the way, because I get cut too. I get cut right back.
Yep. Yep. That's your pillow receiver. Now, pillows, on the other hand, the most important thing is that the message doesn't hurt someone. But in the sending of that message, it's so padded. Like, I think, but I'm not always right. But it's important to know. But you may disagree. So by the time you get to the actual message, people are asleep, or they're tapping their feet and looking up in the air, going, oh, "Gee, how long do I have to sit here and listen to them get to the point?" So that's a classic interaction of the friendly, compassionate versus critical, judgmental. Which one's right? Neither one. It's just a completely different preference and style. Now, become a more pillowy if you're an arrow. Absolutely. That's the I'm not trying to say you're a bad arrow. I'm just saying be really cognizant of who you're talking to. If you're with other arrows, be an arrow. But a lot of my executive coaching clients are arrow senders, but pillow receivers. Like that's like you can dish it out, but you can't take it.
Right, right. He's asking if you could be an assertive introvert. I think a good example of that is like Elon Musk, for instance. I think he's assertive with his projects, right? But I don't think he's necessarily an extrovert. I think he's very awkward. Some people can be awkward in crowds and things like that. But they're still goal-oriented type of people. So I think that's possible.
So, in going through this exercise, I would say we've answered the question, yes, you can change. Maybe not fundamentally. I'll argue with Patrick that we can actually change more than 3%. I will say we could probably change 38%.
Oh, you think you go full hardcore?
Full on. But it requires a conscientious awareness of your natural tendencies and then your ability to change them if the situation really warrants it. And I say this to all of my executive coaching clients. It's up to you. Do you want to be more effective with a larger group of people? If the answer is yes, then yeah, you can't always be yourself.
Right. It's not always appropriate unless you want to be that kind of person. I mean, like that, it's going to have its pros and cons.
Yes.
I think that agreeable people tend to do that, where they change for the circumstances to be not rock the boat too much. But yeah, I think it's interesting because like only 3%, that's kind of crazy. But I agree with you. I think that sometimes we can maybe go radically some way with one particular choice that we make in that moment. I think that we can do that in certain moments. We can go, you know what, today I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to do this action right now. It's the exact opposite of my character. And I'm going to get this specific result with that. But to be consistently like that, I think it would be a very, very challenging to be a 38% something else that you naturally aren't. But I think you can do like a 38% in the moment, like pow, right? Do you kind of see that, what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but the one caveat I would say for myself, I've changed 38% on the extroversion introversion with time.
Really?
Yes. So I was high E, like every plane ride, I would make like 10 friends because I'd be talking the whole working, time in the air, right? I would have the whole entire section, where like having discussions and debates and whatever. And now I get on the airplane, it's like, and then, I need that time. And I think with time, and that's one thing that I disagree with on a lot of personality inventories, is they say that you cannot change. And I don't agree with that because I've watched myself change. So that I've changed 38% just on that indices of extroversion and introvert.
You
So
become a little more introverted, you're saying?
absolutely, I need my downtime. Probably too because of what I do and being in the public and we've had a people. And so after one of those things, like the promo I did with us at LA Convention Center, there was a lot going on, a lot of action, a lot of stuff.
Comic-Con? That was fun, right?
It was
That
so
made my reel. That was in my reel. Like
so
3 times or twice. Yeah.
fun. So I was just exhausted. Now I understand when I do motivational speaking, I'm up, and the adrenaline's up here. And then when I'm off stage, I'm like crashing. So I think that there's, again, balance. That's why I'm all about balance when it comes to any kind of personality trait. There is room to move. There is that the worst thing we can do for ourselves is say, this is who I am, and if you don't like it, tough. Don't be with me. This is who I am. I have to, everybody has a right to my opinion. This is what I think, and if you don't agree with me, you're stupid. Like that. Well, that's kind of where our country is right now, but that's why I got the Operation Agree to Disagree. Is we've got to get to that ability to be able to give people some grace and some room, and ourselves some grace and some room to change things that aren't working for us. If it's working for you 80% of the time, if people around you like who you are 80% of the time, you don't need to change.
Or if you're getting the specific result that you want, because some investment bankers or somebody in the stock market or an A&R at a record label can have that kind of shiitake attitude, right?
Yeah.
Because they just are that. I mean, they're being authentically who they are, and that was like my New Year's resolution last year. I want to be who I am, and I don't want to pretend to be like them because I'm not like them. I can't run around pretending to be something I'm not like that. I'm more of a sensitive person. I'm probably more agreeable than they are. They probably rate really low on agreeableness, but by the way, I'm not that high on agreeableness. But at the same time, it's like if you want to be a happier, more fulfilled person, you got to connect with who you are. And that's why I love tests like these that we're talking about, the Big Five and the other tests that you were referring to just to kind of get to know who you are, because you have to get to know who you are first before you can change anything.
Right. That, and there's the moose drop.
Moose drop.
Because it really, really matters first that you like who you are 80% of the time.
Accept it. Accept who you are. Maybe not even like, but accept.
Yeah, and go easy. No one is perfect. No one is the ideal anything. No one.
Right.
And I hope this year, it's not that it's not a good idea to have fitness goals or weight goals or diet goals or whatever it is, but in the end, are you doing it because you want to love yourself and be okay, or are you never gonna? I'll be happy when I've lost 30 pounds. I'll be happy when I have this much money. I'll be happy when I have this many likes. I'll be happy when, and it's like when are you gonna be happy? I want this year to be a year where you take that out of the equation. I'm going to be happy right now. I'm going to look at all the things that I have and I'm grateful for it.
Great job. Great job. I agree with that, and I approve that message. Right now, we can be that now, not later. And I keep saying that to another person I love in my life. Is like, there's this idea of like, okay, pushing forward and achieving more. And yes, I want yes, that's very, very important to have goals, to have, not just be a lump on a log in your life and being lazy. But it's also important to just realize like, hey, we're good. We're good. Things are good. Life is good. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah.
or like things are okay. And I don't know. I don't think a lot of people even understand what that would feel like to just kind of, even including myself, is to just kind of be in this idea that maybe we are good enough, maybe we are okay, and just the way we. I mean, well, yeah, maybe the way we are.
Percent.
Okay. How about a snake is a snake, and a shark is a shark, and a horse is a horse, and a cat is a cat? How about the way they act and the way that they are is okay? You don't want to get close to a shark. You don't want to swim. Something might happen, but they are who they are, and that's how I kind of feel about human beings. We need to accept ourselves for who we are. We need to understand who we are. Take that journey. I've been on that journey for a while now. I think with you, you've really helped me in my life. Um, yeah, and going to therapy is really important. I recommend that for people who really want to change things about themselves. Therapy is important. Being surrounded by people who are interested in growth in that way,
Yeah.
that also helps.
You are the sum of the 5 people you hang around. It just is. Because you keep perpetuating what they are talking about or thinking about. So if you people carefully, if you want to have a successful, abundant, prosperous year, don't hang around with people constantly talking about worst case scenario because you will attract worst case scenario. If you want to attract creative ventures, then the people around you who are always talking about what if and possibilities instead of no, this is the way it is. If you want
Right.
to, look at going up, hashtag UP, unlimited possibilities. Then tune into the show every day because that's what
Here we are.
right, and it's your choice. I hope that you understand as a result of today's talk how powerful we are in our BS. Our belief systems change the way we see our lives, change the way we see ourselves, change the way we see others. If you believe that you can't change, you will not change. If you believe others will not change, they will not change. If you allow yourself the possibility that you can have a happier year, you will have a
I saw the coolest YouTube video, and I'm going to share it with you after the show. It's about beliefs and how our beliefs shape reality. It shifts reality. And he said 1%, the 1% of human beings understand this, and they're the ones who are the most highly, crazy successful people in the world because they understand that their beliefs form reality, not the other way around.
That's the law of attraction, and it's also ignoring.
I'm gonna share that video with you. It just came on randomly as I was driving home from New Year's. On New Year's, I was driving home.
Okay. Who's do you remember the person?
No, it was just a random video. It was very powerful, playing and it made sense to me. It's just how powerful our beliefs are about ourselves, about what we think we're able to achieve. Well, and that's what you can achieve if you think it. It's super basic. It's the things that we've learned when we were kids, and we kind of were like, yeah, whatever. But there's got to be some truth to all of this, and you got to do some exploring with your life.
It's so funny listening from the people earlier in the morning when you were doing law of attraction. You just gave
I still do poo-poo it. By the way.
you just described the pure law of attraction.
I was like, I still do. I'm holding on.
But it's like that expression.
No.
Expression. I'll believe it when I see it. It's actually I'll see it
when I believe it.
So what your belief systems are. So I'm hoping that you will go into this. I'm talking about everybody. So my wish for 2025 for everyone is they embrace, that's a good word, embrace BS, belief systems, that generate joy and happiness. So in every moment,
That's good.
what is your BS? Oh, this is going to be hard. Is that a good, joy, happy BS belief system? No. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not good at this anyways. That is not a great BS belief system to adopt, to live by. Belief system. Well, I'm not all that bad. Actually, I'm kind of good at this, or I've learned this before. Why can't I learn something else? I've lost the weight before. I know I can do it again. I know that I can act on my own behalf, and I don't need a whole cheering section to root for me, nor do I need a peanut gallery to criticize me. So, I report to me. And am I happy in this moment right now, 80% of the time? Yeah. Do I have what I want and want what I have? Yeah. Do I have everything that I want? No. But do I have a lot? Yeah. And can I focus on that and really appreciate that? It's not saying you don't want more, right? I want to write a book this year. I want to learn a new language this year. I want to learn how to play an instrument this year. I want to explore other careers so that I'm not stuck in a job that I hate. But in the meantime, can I find something about my job that I like so that I actually enjoy going to work so I don't have to live for my weekends, which means I'm only living 20% of the 7 days?
Right. Moonstrap.
We didn't even take the station. No news, weather, and traffic breaks. That always
Get right by that.
we were just like, oh my
We were into it. We're into it. It's a great conversation. It is the conversation. It's the most important conversation. Who are you? And who do you want to be? And who, all these questions are incredibly important. My New Year's resolution is I want to perform on stage with my friends. I want to party with them. Okay. And I want to wear crazy outfits on stage with my friends, not alone. And I want us to have a big celebration type of party. It's not even a show. It's not even Ricky Rebel live. It's like we're having a party. It's going to be a party. And we're going to wear crazy clothes. We're going to get paparazzi pictures everywhere. People are going to take all these pictures, going to be in blogs and stuff. But yeah, that's my vision.
That's an intention. You just
My intention, my goal.
Yes, and
Right.
that's a beautiful thing. And I hope that you all do what Ricky just did for your lives. Like today, it is the day to set the intentions of what you want in 2025. Because if you go, well, whatever's going to be is going to be, or then it's just this. I want you to, in the exercise that I learned from Abraham Hicks, law of attraction, the true one, not the secret one focused on just material things. But it's called Wouldn't It Be Nice? So, Ricky, I just said, wouldn't it be nice? And you said, if I had not just a performance, but an actual party on stage with my friends and having the best time ever, right? You just set an intention. Now say it back.
Right. Wouldn't it be nice
If this
if
year I was inspired to take another crack at happiness and use that as a way to get on multiple stages around the world to talk about how people can be happy right now?
that would be nice.
It'd be nice if
Wouldn't it be nice if my friends and I got to perform all around the world? We got to travel. We get to go to Spain, go to Japan, go to London together, all as a tribe. That's the important thing for me right now. It's not because I did a lot of this alone. I've done all this. I've been on stage, toured with Britney, and I've done a lot of tours on my own or with, you know, the boy band, which is one thing. But I'm talking about all of us coming together. All of the, I call us the X-Men. All of my friends are like X-Men. We have superpowers, and I want us to come together with these superpowers to fight evil. Evil being sadness or depression. We got to heal the world. We got to make them happy again. We got to make them have fun. So wouldn't that be nice?
Yes. If I found even more ways to have fun and laugh and enjoy and feel 88% of the time that life is good.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that's right. And
I like that.
It's called choosing versus outlining. This is from this thing called Ernest Collins I read every morning before meditation. What we do. And if we set intentions that are less specific around the accomplishment and more specific around the feeling tone of
That part.
what it is, then it really doesn't, it takes the grind out of how many dollars I'm going to make, what projects are going to come into fruition, or, you know, all the things that we may not have control over, but why are we doing them in the first place? Is to feel good, right? Is
Right.
to feel fulfilled and happy and joyous and creative and all of those things. So why can't we just feel that way even before whatever it is that we think we want, right? We want I've come to a great place around dating. I just want to have fun dating instead of having that one person, because Lord knows I don't even think one person would be enough for me. Not that I've been to poly, listen.
You might be. You might be.
Could be. And we're coming up on the end of the hour. Ricky, what's your final word on this?
My final word is I love all of you. Thank you so much to my supporters, everyone wishing me well and my family well. And thank you so much for your support. If you guys want to follow me on my social media platforms, you can follow me at Ricky Rebel Rocks on all social media platforms, or go to rickyrebelrocks.com to hear my music and to get more information on me. Thank you.
And my final word is you're loved, loving, and lovable. You're wrapped in a warm blanket of goodness, and don't forget it. And even if you don't believe it, I'll believe it too. I'll believe it for you until you do it. I'm Doc Balance on Instagram, Dr. Marissa everywhere else. I'm giving away free audiobook copies of my little bestseller, 8 News Happiness. Just go to Dr. Marissa About Life and free subscribe to my YouTube TV channel. As usual, I'm so grateful for my co-host, Ricky Rebel, who's here every other Friday for Straight Talk. Now, go and have
the best weekend ever.
Take back